You ever wonder why so many of these amazing agentic AI projects fail the second they try to go enterprise? I mean, we see it happen again and again. But the reason? Well, it's probably not what you think. Let's dig in. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. It's not about how smart the model is. It's about how resilient this system is. So for a minute, forget about prompt engineering. We're talking about architecture. The bones of the system that decide if your AI agent is going to be an asset or a huge liability.
So what really makes the enterprise world so different from a simple demo? Honestly, it all boils down to one word: discipline. When you're building for the enterprise, you're not just hacking together a cool proof of concept. You are building a system that has to meet incredibly tough requirements in a production environment that, believe me, does not forgive.
And these aren't just nice-to-have features on a roadmap. They're the absolute table stakes for any serious enterprise AI project. We're talking about a non-negotiable service-level agreement on latency, a real budget you can't go over, the ability to pass a strict regulatory audit, keeping customer data completely separate, and having a real path for a human to step in. If your system fails even one of these, it's just not ready, period.
And this perfectly captures that massive gap. See, a proof of concept just proves something is possible. A production system has to prove it's reliable, at scale. Your little demo doesn't have to worry about thousands of people hitting it at once, or a regulator demanding an audit trail for a decision from last quarter. An enterprise system absolutely does.
So what actually happens when these undisciplined Wild West agent architectures smack into the high-stakes world of the enterprise? Well, they don't just bend, they completely shatter. Let's walk through the 5 most common ways these systems just completely collapse under real-world pressure.
All right, first up is the audit void. This is what happens when an agent basically acts like a total black box. Yeah, it's making decisions, it's calling tools, it's spitting out answers, but it's not leaving any breadcrumbs. No trace of why it did what it did.
And here's why that's so terrifying. When something inevitably goes wrong, you have zero way to figure out why. You can't debug it, you can't explain an error to a customer, and you definitely can't answer to a regulator. The system just becomes totally untrustworthy because it's completely unexplainable.
Next up is the cost cliff. And oh boy, this is one of the most painful ways these projects die. Because in a demo, a few hundred API calls feels like nothing. But in production, millions of calls can literally bankrupt the project before you know what hits you. This happens when the architecture has zero cost awareness built into it. A classic example is using a giant, expensive model like GPT-4o for a simple validation check on every single step of a process. The cost doesn't go up in a straight line. It explodes exponentially as you scale, blowing right past any budget you thought you had. Now for number 3, a failure mode that is scarily common in any multi-tenant system: the state leak. This is a 5-alarm security fire where the walls between your customers just evaporate. Just picture this. User A from company X asks about their private M&A documents, but the agent, because its state is all jumbled up, gives an answer using sensitive documents from user B at company Y. That's not a bug, that is a data breach. Without ironclad, architecturally enforced isolation, it's not a matter of if this will happen, but when. Okay, number 4, the missing hallucination gate. This is when you let an agent confidently make something up and deliver that fabricated info directly to a user, especially in a regulated industry. Seriously, think about this in healthcare or finance for a second. An agent inventing a drug interaction or just making up a financial compliance rule isn't just an oops, it is a massive, massive risk. A disciplined system has to have a gate, a checkpoint, that validates the agent's output against the facts before a user ever sees it. And finally, the Monolith Agent. Oh, this one is so tempting. The idea of building one single brilliant super agent that does everything. It routes, it retrieves, it reasons, it answers. So simple in theory, right? So catastrophic in practice. Because what happens is, if one tiny part of its super complex reasoning loop breaks, the whole thing comes crashing down. There's no specialization, no way to contain a fault. A problem with retrieving data instantly becomes a problem with generating an answer. It is a single point of catastrophic failure just waiting to happen. And let me be really clear here. These are not some weird, rare edge cases. These are the recurring nightmares I see in pretty much every enterprise AI architecture review. They're predictable. And the good news is, they are preventable if you build with discipline. So how do we do that? Let's get into a key solution. Okay, one of the most powerful ways to force discipline into your system is by using what's called the LLM-as-a-Judge pattern. This is our hallucination gate. It's our quality control specialist, built right into the workflow. The idea is actually pretty simple. Before the main agent is allowed to send its answer to the user, a second, specialized LLM, the judge, steps in and scores the answer. It asks, is this answer actually supported by the source documents? Is it relevant? Is it safe? If the answer fails that check, it gets blocked or sent to a human for review.
But hold on, didn't we just talk about the cost cliff? How on earth can we afford to add another LLM call to every query? Well, this is where the smart engineering comes in. The judge model doesn't need to be the biggest, most powerful one. We can use a much smaller, faster, and way cheaper quantized model. Think of quantization like compressing a beautiful high-res photo. The file size gets way smaller, it loads a lot faster, even though you might lose a tiny bit of imperceptible detail. An 8-bit or even a 4-bit model gives us massive speed and memory wins with a teeny tiny drop in accuracy. It's the perfect trade-off for a focused task like judging.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road financially. Using a full-size model as your judge is just a non-starter at scale. It's way too expensive. But swapping in a quantized judge can slash your evaluation costs by an order of magnitude, making the whole system economically viable.
And that's really the key thing to remember here. We're not asking the judge to write poetry or novel. We're just asking it to do one very specific job: check the work of the main agent. It's all about using the right tool for the job.
Okay, so we've looked at the big problems and a really important piece of the solution. Now let's zoom out and look at what a complete production-grade agentic architecture actually looks like. Spoiler, it's not one agent. It's a disciplined pipeline where every single piece has a very specific job to do.
Let's just walk through this. A query comes in and bang, an SLA timer starts. No excuses for being slow. Then a smart but cheap router model glances at the query and decides which specialized agent is the best fit, which saves a ton of money. Next, the retrieval step pulls data, but only from the correct isolated customer's data. No state leaks. Then our LLM-as-Judge gate does its quality check. If the confidence score is too low, the answer doesn't go to the user, it gets kicked over to a human for review. And maybe most importantly, every single step, every decision, every API call is logged to a trace sync, giving you a perfect audit trail. See, this isn't just a workflow diagram. It's more like an assembly line for building trust. There are no monoliths here. Every component is specialized, it's testable, and it has a crystal clear job. This is how you build a system that is resilient by its very design. And this really brings us to our final and maybe the single most important point of all. When you're building for the enterprise, you have to fundamentally shift your mindset away from just building features and toward building resilience. This is the secret right here. You have to design for failure before you even think about features. Don't start by asking, what cool stuff can my agent do? Start by asking, what happens when the database is slow? What's our fallback if an API goes down? How do we handle and report a data leak? Building in those circuit breakers, those fallbacks, the audit trails, that is the real work. The cool features, that's the easy part. So as you're thinking about your own projects, just ask yourself that one question. Are you building a flashy demo? Or are you building a resilient, trustworthy system that can actually handle the pressure of the real world? Because the difference isn't the model you choose, it's the discipline you build into the architecture around it. Thanks for tuning in.